Hi guys, Darth Deuces here with another Star Wars action figure review. Today's a Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch figure review, but not exactly, because I'll be taking a look at the bootleg Black Series 6-inch Boba Fett. Now yes, I did purchase a bootleg Black Series 6-inch Boba Fett. I didn't really want to, but from what I've seen on Instagram from some of the people I follow, got one, and it looked pretty good for what it was, and for the price it's really hard to beat. This is really cheap compared to what the real one goes for online, and it's really not bad at all. This thing really surprised me. It is really close to the actual thing. The quality is actually pretty damn good as for being a bootleg. It's pretty crazy how close this thing is, and I'll give you guys a look at it so you guys can form your own opinions on it. You guys might hate bootlegs, you guys might not mind it. In the end, what's worse, feeding the scalper market or feeding the bootlegger market? I didn't care enough. I wanted a Boba Fett because I wanted to do photos with it for my Instagram, so I wasn't going to pay the pretty high prices of the real one, so I bought the bootleg one. So we'll take a close look at this guy. So in terms of sculpt, he's actually pretty damn good. There's no really any warping or misshapen parts or anything about him. Just looking at it, looks pretty damn good. I mean, you can tell some of the silver paint apps are a little patchy looking, if it wants to focus. Yeah, so you can see there, it's a little patchy looking. It's not too bad. You pretty much got all the main paint apps on the go. I have done some paint modifications to it, and I'll point those out, which a little bit of the silver paint, like the silver paint on the dent I added. I had to touch up the black on the visor because it was kind of faded, but once I did that, it looks really good now. It was easy to do. And then just some of the silver wash I applied myself, which wasn't hard. And the sculpt and paints are actually really good. You know, the red paint there is painted pretty accurately. You still got all these silver scrapes that they put on, which is pretty cool. The emblem there is put on really crisply, and so is the Mandalorian Mythosaurus skull. It is also put on really crisply. The sculpting of the clothes and the armor is just really nicely done. A lot of the paint apps are still there. They didn't skimp out on, which is really cool. So the gloves there has nicely sculpted, and it's a damn good reproduction, I'll tell you that. You got the braids there, the jetpack, which has a lot more silver dry. I added a lot of silver dry brushing to it to amplify it a bit more. It was a lot green, just plain green. And you got the belt there. You do have the cloth cape there, which I hear it is made of a different material from the real one, but I still think the material that they use for this one's not bad at all. You know, it has that little bit of fraying, which I think it's supposed to have, and it doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels okay, so I don't think it's that bad at all. Got the bags there. Groin piece. Some shading on the torso, the legs, which is cool. Got the knee plates. And the armor there with the some weathering, which I did not add. They actually put on, which is cool. Although you can tell they put the weather on the front, but there's no weathering on the back. And you get the boots, which are also painted and sculpted pretty nicely. You can't complain too much there. And really, in terms of look, like, it really still has the look. I'm pretty impressed with how, like I said, how good this thing actually looks being a bootleg. It still looks really good. I really can't believe how well these guys have done to recreate the figure. In terms of articulation, articulation is not bad. It does have some different articulation from the original, from what I understand, but it's still pretty good. Though he is hindered, I think it's the same way with the real one too. He does have a ball joint in the head with a hinge, so you can get him to look down a decent amount, and get him to look up a decent amount. Ball hinges of the shoulders, which move pretty good. Ball hinges of the elbows, which only move okay because you can't really get him into very good aiming poses, but and ball hinges at the wrist, a ball joint at the torso. Now here's where the different articulation comes. He has completely different hip articulation. So instead of the normal Black Series you expect, the peg actually goes, instead of going sideways, actually goes up. into the torso. So if you want to get him to kick out, you gotta actually rotate the leg, rotate his thigh swivel, and then kick out, instead of just being able to kick out and kick forward and kick out, which is a little annoying, but it's not too bad. And yeah, you do have the swivel at the thigh, double hinges at the knees, hinge at the ankle with a rocker joint. So it's still actually pretty good articulation, but he is a little stat hindered, but it's not too bad at all. You can still get some pretty cool poses, and he just looks really cool just standing there. In terms of accessories, he does come with his rifle, which has some nice paint apps. You know, you got the handle painted, you got some of the silver dry brushing, which they could have easily just scrapped, but they actually put it on there. And you got this silver and brown on the buttstock. On the holster here, you have his pistol, which you can store there. And that looks good. It looks exactly like the real one. One thing you will notice is just where they injected the ink, or the plastic, sorry. That's how you know that they're the bootleg ones, but slots in the holster just fine. You can also remove the jetpack. The jetpack, it fits in tightly, it's not going to fall off, but I guess how it is or whatever. Excuse me. It doesn't go in all the way, but it's not too bad. Like, there's a little bit of gabbage, but it's not too bad at all, and you just kind of fold the cape in there, it looks fine. But anyways, that is the bootleg Black Series 6-inch Boba Fett. It's actually really well done. But at the same time, can I really condone buying bootlegs? Well, I bought a bootleg, so I guess I can. I think you should, if you're really, I think if he's like your Boba Fett's your favorite character ever, then I think you owe it to yourself to get the real one. But for me, where I just kind of wanted it so I could do photos and just have it in the collection, but didn't really care too much about having the real one. And if you just don't have the money to get the real one, because it is quite expensive, and this bootleg is actually a pretty good option. You know, it's cheap in price, but it's not cheap in quality, because I have not had any issues of it yet. This hasn't been breaking. I haven't had any issues like that at all. No deformities. Paint apps been, I think the worst thing about it was some of the paint apps were a little spotty, and any paint apps that were spotty I was able to easily fix with like in a minute. Like, it was easy fixes if I had to, but everything else is solid with this figure. So I think if you're on a budget like I am, and you can't be spending big money on figures, then, and you want a Boba Fett for your Black Series collection, or to do photos or whatever you want it for, I think this is a viable choice. Unfortunately to say it, but Hasbro sucks at distribution, and the bootleggers are fixing the gaps, really. Now, if you are trying to get the real one, I would be careful. If it's cheaper, way cheaper than most of the other prices, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So just be careful if you're actually trying to get the real one. But this one's still a really good choice if you don't want to spend all the extra money. It's just how it is. Some people hate getting bootleggers, some people don't. I can't say I agree with bootlegging, but at the same time, I wanted a Boba Fett figure and I was able to get it for cheap. And it's not bad quality. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is kind of my opinions on the figure. And may the force be with you.